lounging, son.
Welcome back to the Comic Lounge. My name's Ryan.
And I'm Manny.
And today we're going to be talking about a little book called Thor Vikings, Marvel's adult line, Max Comics, which has kind of faded into obscurity, with the exception of a book that just came out this week of we're recording, Get Fury. So it's like, it's weird. They don't really utilize it, but every once in a while they'll throw something out from that line.
I want to say that the last Max Comics have all been Ennis books.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
So, mentioning Garth Ennis, this is by Garth Ennis and Glenn Fabry. Before I get into it, just want to remind everybody, if you are not subscribed to the channel, please hit that subscribe button and check out some of the dope content. Got a bunch of great stuff on here. We got interviews. We go through books like this, old, new, indie stuff. So hit that subscribe button and let's get into this title that, for the longest, I remember seeing this cover, but I had never read it. And this book, I believe, like early 2000s? Yeah, 2003 is when this came out. First of all, Garth Ennis and Glenn Fabry have worked together in the past on a book we both love. Now, Glenn Fabry mostly did covers for that series, but I believe he did do some interiors on some one-offs, some one-shots.
Yeah, I think he did, yeah. But I don't see enough Glenn Fabry interiors, and he's so good at it.
Yeah, dude. I mean, his covers are phenomenal because they're painted, so they have a different aesthetic. The interiors are great, and we open up in a very gruesome way, which is very typical of a Garth Ennis book, taking place all the way in 1003 AD, the west coast of Norway. This woman's been through some shit. I mean, he even says it. Everyone had their way with them. And we see that this fucking army has ravaged this town. Now, while this book is a Thor title, he's rarely in this issue. Not until the very end. So the whole impetus behind this, which I think is pretty crazy, is that, this army has ravaged his town. His name's Harold, I believe it's pronounced Yakelson. And they're Vikings, right? And this is what the Vikings did back then. They would, go torch towns, fucking rape and pillage, right? In the end, there's one guy, the wise man of the town, that is now going to put a fucking curse on them because his family has been murdered. And they're going to go to the west to find the new world, right? So they can go do their shit on the west. I think it's a pretty interesting idea. I know I'm kind of breezing past this opening, but I just kind of want to get into the meat of this, which is basically because he puts this curse on them with this rune stone, with his own blood he uses to create this spell, and 1,000 years you're gonna sail, right? But and we learn later what the real effect and why they are affected in the way they are, but it doesn't happen for 3 issues in. All the way from there, he gets shot. So he doesn't even get to fully finish his spell that he's casting.
Right.
But he curses them, and then they're on the fucking ocean for 1,000 years, right? And it brings us into the year 2003, and we see this more modern ship, and they come across New York City, 2003. They're gonna fulfill their destiny, which is to reach the new world, but it's been way longer than they imagined, and they're basically zombies.
Yeah. The whole thing has almost an EC Comics vibe to it too, which I love. I mean, I would categorize this as a horror comic, especially this first issue.
Yeah.
I mean, it could almost work as a short story, this could almost be an issue of EC Comics if you take Thor out of it, to be honest with you.
I mean, you really could take Thor out of it.
Yeah.
And make it, I mean, obviously you would have to change some other elements. I love that we're this many pages in, we're seeing really the Vikings in a way that they don't really depict them. They don't depict them like this in Marvel Comics normally. Only Garth Ennis could fucking do some shit like that. How about this, though? Fucking sword.
I love that, dude.
That's
like an oh shit moment, and it just reminds you how hard the Max Comics were willing to go.
Yeah.
And you and I talk about this all the time. I miss that. I don't think that the Marvel today that's owned by and run by Disney would ever publish this kind of stuff. I'm surprised it's still even in print. I think the last time they put it in print was in 2020 or 2021 is what this collection I have says.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah. Because obviously I'm looking through the single issue, so I just was looking through for some Glenn Fabry stuff, and this came across on eBay when I was looking. I was like, oh shit, yeah, I never read this, and I love Thor. Thor is one of my favorite Marvel characters. Here's a fucking product of its time when Marvel redid Epic Comics and Mark Miller with Terry Dodson did a little romance comic. Now this is something that I want to talk about with you.
Yes, I read it when it came out, and I know it's extremely controversial. I don't even know how I would want to read it again because I haven't read it since it first came out, and I think it does warrant a show because I don't know how I'm gonna react to it. But regardless of how I do, I would love to talk about it.
Okay, because I reread it when we were going through all those Mark Miller books.
Yeah,
and I had forgot to tell you about it, but it is fresh in my mind still. I remembered basically everything once I got into the story, and it is very controversial, but we'll add that to the queue to talk about. This is fucking insanity, dude. Like, they can't even believe that this is real. They think it's a TV show. These Vikings just come in, fucking sword to this chick's head. This guy's head gets lopped off and runs into the next panel, and it's just absolute mayhem.
I mean, this is like hard R. Like, if this was a movie, it'd probably be rejected by the Motion Picture Association.
Agreed. Yeah, I think this would probably warrant, like, they'd have to remove this or get an X rating. I mean, just fucking nuts. There's nothing that they can do. These guys have become also, not only are they zombies basically, but they're super powerful. And
when he chucks the car, bro, like, that was one of my favorite moments. Like, dude just picks up the car with one hand and fucking chucks it.
But this dude, how he holds he lops the arm and the cop's head off and then just holds it, staring at it, man, contemplating. Oh my god!
And Glenn Fabry's art is so detailed, man. Yeah. Like, for this kind of gruesome shit.
And it's interesting listening to like the inner thoughts of Yakelson, or not the narration. I'm sorry, not the inner thoughts, but the narration, because like mentioning that so much time has passed, right? Like, he can't even understand what this world is, sending women to fight. Silver towers stood tall as mountains. I love this, man. The writing is just fucking some of the best.
Yeah, I mean, that's Ennis. Ennis is probably my favorite comic book writer. He's definitely in my top 3.
Mm-hmm.
And his writing is amazing. I mean, when he wants to be poetic, he can be poetic. But when he wants to be like down and dirty, he can do that too. And then he's combining the two half the time. I mean,
dude, this is great too. You're like you said, he chucks the fucking car.
Dude,
the mountain of burning bodies. She'll do. Too long have I gone without that as well. And the woman's begging. And then all we see is one fucking word balloon. And by the text who it is. Obviously, we know who it is because it's his book. And then the lightning striking down. And boom, we get Thor. I love this version of Thor's costume too. The more classic version.
I do too, yeah.
What a great full-page spread. For so says Thor, who comes to send thee back below. It's awesome, bro. And he questions where they came from. Only thy fate is clear to me. And then we see the soldier say, God of Thunder. And he just laughs.
I love this close-up, dude. Like, just like the way the skin is, that everything is so fucking good.
It's fantastic, dude. The teeth right here and the maggots coming out of his mouth. Another great fucking cover. I gotta spotlight each cover as we go through these two because they're fantastic, dude. And I love how Thor's like they're facing off, and this dude's not towering over him, but he is looking down at him. So we're seeing that this guy already is kind of looks more powerful than Thor, because Thor's even illustrated like he's kind of skinny here. You think me a maggot
level of detail, man. Like, dude. Look at like the Viking costumes, the chains, like the grit, the small tears,
dude,
the textures.
Thor's fucking wrist breaks after he cracks the hammer. His bones are fucking coming out.
Because they're cursed with a powerful ancient magic. So like you said, they're more than just zombies. They're like indestructible machines, like a fucking Terminator or something.
Yeah. You're right. That's a very good way to describe them, because they are. There's nothing that can take them down. They're not just mindless zombies. They're zombies with a brain, basically,
or at least Jacob. Is it Jacob? His name? He seems to be the leader. Seems to be the most intelligent one.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. I guess the rest of them aren't talking, but they do move with.
Yes, they respond to his commands, and they're easily as powerful because they're all going through everything,
And look, dude, he knows who the fuck Thor is, and he doesn't care about him at all. Doesn't fucking think a thing about him. Fucking takes him down. He's leg the bone coming out. I mean, it's fantastic. The detail that they add in here. Thor fucking trying to bash him in the head. Now, think quickly, Thunder God, so long as you have a head to think with. And he fucking whacks him with the sword. This guy kind of looks like Christian Bale a little bit to me. This news guy. He looks almost like Christian Bale from American Psycho to me.
Yeah, you're right. Maybe he used him as a visual reference. You're right. I like the detail.
He's on the news in the gut. Look at that Viking with the axe. He like has googly eyes. He just comes in and lops the head off.
There's a lot of humor in this, but that's Ennis with his dark humor. Dude, this page with the fucking guy just cutting off all those heads with one fall swoop, and then like.
How about in the fucking newsroom and this guy? He just like with the finger over his throat. The motion of like to cut your head off, and the blood and the guts like coming out from over there. I mean, this really is just like you said, very EC horror, very EC.
It is. It's a horror movie, man, and like this could. You take Thor out of this, you can make it'd be a dope ass horror movie about these undead Vikings coming to New York and fucking going on a murder spree. I'd watch that.
I would too, dude. Look at how fucked up Thor looks too.
Yeah.
The bruising, the coloring too on here, like the way they show him like swollen skin, eyes swollen shut, his eyes bloodshot. And
it's so good.
He just fucking gets manhandled, dude. His fucking one of the wings on his helmet gets ripped off.
And people are always saying that, like, I mean, maybe there is an element of truth that Ennis loves to take the piss out of superheroes,
Yeah.
And maybe he's doing a bit of this here, but spoilers because we're gonna go through the whole damn series. Thor comes out on top at the end, so it is his book, and he does, to be a badass.
He does. How about this mountain of heads that the Vikings
have? Bro, that shit was insane.
Oh my god, dude!
Again, like I know Max went hard, but this might be the most hard they went in any of their titles, and I just think
so. The only other title I can think of is Punisher.
This is Preacher level gruesomeness.
Yes, the only thing I can think of is maybe Punisher, but I haven't read. Like it's been a while since I've read the Max Punisher stuff, and even then I don't know that it like necessarily went this graphic in terms of like blood and guts. Because look at this, dude. He got fucking about to kill him. He fucking grabs him by the neck. He's like, look up what scraps the true heroes throw you from their tables in Valhalla. And he fucking throws him down, dude. He almost looks like his flesh is being melted off right here. And then he says, go die the straw death, which I didn't know what it was. I'm glad that he fucking mentions it later. Like what a straw death is. And then here we go. Look at this. Another great ad. JLA Avengers.
Yeah, dude.
Dude, that would be fun to talk about too. I haven't done an episode on that yet.
I'm down, dude. I read those when they came out too. I was full on collecting comics, and I do remember, I think, having the first issue of Vikings.
Yeah, look at this, dude. I love this scope of this with their flying Viking ship in the air.
Yeah, dude.
Like he just like the texture on stuff is Fabry's really good at.
He's always been good at that, even with his paintings. Like he does like flesh really well. Like dude. Like you feel like especially like undead, like fucking deformed, mutated kind of flesh. Like I'm thinking back to like the covers he did with like Arseface and basically any cover he did for Preacher, and he did a bunch of Hellblazer covers too.
Oh yeah, those are fantastic. Also, I love this shot of the fucking of Yarkelson and the cops trying to square off. They say fire, he says I, and then the fire comes out of the fucking dragon's mouth on their ship, and you see their fucking skeletons, the flesh just melted off. Oh my god, the mayhem, dude. This would be an insane movie. I mean, look at that, dude. Look, you see how like half the body is melted off on the skeleton on the bottom, and he still has flesh here. Like, oh my god. I can't, like, he must have so much fun drawing this. Or he must have had so much fun drawing this. And then we see Thor rip himself from the water, defeated. And what does he say? He says one word, strange. And Doctor Strange, downright bizarre, I'd say. I think we need to talk. What a great ending.
I love the way he writes Strange in this too. He's like kind of a fucking asshole.
Yeah, he is kind of douchey, dude.
Which, I mean, I've always thought that's how Strange should be portrayed. I mean, even in the MCU movies, Cumberbatch does a good job where it's like he's kind of an arrogant prick.
Here we go. Now the mayor, dude. Straight spear through the fucking head, right out of his ear. And I love that. I love the puffiness in his mouth because he's about to fucking puke, the news guy.
those are the kind of things that like you see in so much of Ennis's works, like
This is a great shot too. I love
that thing.
line up there for after all. What king is it that does not need a throne? And he looks up at the fucking Empire State Building, dude. That's his new throne.
There's another line in here. I don't remember where it is, but I remember the line that I love where it talks about Harold's heart, and it says the ball of maggots beating in his chest. I mean,
Yes.
it's like the lyrics to like a black metal song, man. You know?
Yeah. I like this too. This is where we find out what the straw death is. It's a phrase Norsemen use for those who die in bed. The death of a coward who hides from battle all his worthless life. So he basically called him a coward.
Fucking Strange on the next page, just like laying there in a fucking robe. This line, bro, he's like, my apologies for the state of the place. Incidentally, there's usually a little foreign fellow who tidies up, but I have no idea where he's got to.
I feel like that would not fly in 2020.
No, dude.
Even in a Max book, I feel like they wouldn't even allow that shit. But it's so funny.
Yeah, dude.
You know, so Thor's healing, but his pride is not. I like that he says that because he is got a huge ego on him. And that's something that Thor has always had. I love this too. As they're going in the bridge between worlds, it's just like this fucking raging water.
Yeah, like where time flows like a river. It's such a cool concept.
Yeah, and so now they're basically going to go through time because they're going to figure out how the Vikings got into that, what magic enabled them to live this long. And they see, and then I love when he finds out that it's just some fucking stupid wise man, the alleged village wise man, and he's messing with rune magic. It's not for amateurs. And he talks about the spell's still running, and it's because it drank up all of his blood, not just a little drop, but all of it. And that's why it became 1,000 times more powerful. And now they're going to have to, like, what are they going to do? They can't go through time.
Yeah, they can't alter the past because that fucks everything up more.
Right. But what's cool is they're going to go to his descendants. I would imagine they would have all died because his village was killed. But there's still probably some survivors that obviously from his bloodline. And so they're going to go through time and pick out, people that they deem good warriors that can use, because their blood, they can use, because their blood used that magic, they can cast a new spell, giving them a certain level of power.
Yeah, almost giving them the same ability and like durability and destructibility that the Vikings have. So they have a fighting, including Thor himself, is able to get the magic done to him.
Right. So we get this, Sigrid. She's, back from, an ancient, I would say almost close to that same period of the original spell, but they don't take her seriously. She wants to be a warrior, and they don't want to because she's a woman. She's going to get taken into battle.
I love that detail in that bottom panel when she slaps the guy in the previous page, and you see his eyeball like fucking flying.
Yeah.
She knocks his eye out.
And I love how they just blip them from time, so the people that are around there just don't understand what the fuck happened. And then I love this dude.
Yeah, dude. He's badass, bro.
Magnus of the Danes. What a dope fucking design for him. Just visceral, man. And he works for the church, fucking lopping people down. And I love how they made his word balloons like super big because to signify that he's yelling.
Good. Yeah, his font is slightly bigger.
Yeah. And then he just goes off into the distance. And Thor, I love the look on his face. He's like, I got doubts about this one. And Strange, beggars can't be choosers. And then finally, they go to the year 1945 during World War II. They pick a pilot that's fighting for the Nazis, which I find interesting. But you find out a little bit more about him later on, which I really dug. Because at first I'm like,
yes,
that's a little weird that we're picking, we're getting a Nazi to fight these Vikings. But, Ennis is a huge fan of this era of war comics and stuff. He's done a bunch of stuff, I think, at Avatar Press, right?
Yeah, he's done stories.
Stuff at Vertigo.
I mean, he's done stories about German soldiers and stuff. He just depoliticizes it and tries to tell stories about the soldiers,
Yeah. Even Strange was kind of hesitant, but he picks them, and that's going to be their team. And then at the last page, we see the Avengers are getting taken out. So this is the only time we see them. City's closed off. Then we get, I think, probably one of my favorite covers of the series. I love the simplicity of it. Just the arm with the hammer and then the purple lightning in the back. Oh, dude, look at that. So much for the Marines. And then you can only imagine what's going to be on the next page. Look at that, dude. Oh my God, dude. They're fucking all on fucking spikes. Dude, this one on the right page, the bottom left corner, where his jaw's like dislocated off to the side, eye
Yeah.
rolling in the back of his head. Every single head here looks different than the next. Just amazing, the detail, man. Then they get the whole spiel of why they're coming together. And look how tiny he looks next to Sigrid, and he thinks he just is like passed out drunk. That's what he thinks happened to him, and how he ended up here.
And here's where we get like the pilot explaining himself.
Yeah, I love this dude because it's like the way he talks about Hitler. You know, like my country is in the hands of a maniac who has sold its soul to the devil. The men I fight have come to defeat this maniac's regime. Unfortunately, in doing so, they kill hundreds of German civilians every day. But the sooner they beat us and win the war, the sooner we're rid of the regime.
Yeah.
I love
so
that.
he wants to lose the war. And like I like when she points out the swastika and he's like, that thing has nothing to do with life anymore. It's a stain on a bloody good little airplane, you know, like
which I like because they're kind of, you know, the symbol has come to mean something horrific, but that's not where that symbol originated from. So
right,
I like that she like talks about that. You know, it's a Nordic symbol, and it just got, you know, I forgot, I can't think of the word right now, but it got
bastardized.
That's exactly the word I was looking for. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a cool idea, and like I like that idea that like this soldier was actively trying. He knew he had to fight the war, but if he could help lose it to the Allies, he would be saving his country and his people. You know?
Yeah, dude, it's amazing.
That in itself is a story to be told. You know?
Agreed. Yeah, I would love to read that story. And you can tell that like Ennis like thinks about these things as he's creating these new characters. Like he's giving them their own world to which they live in, to where they could have their own side story themselves. This page, oh my God, dude. The way the skin's ripping back, the flesh, everybody tied up on. I mean, my God, the amount of deaths that have taken place in this book. They only left these people alive too. Why us? Long bones, bring them within. Oh God. And then they just take them in and close the door. You can only imagine what they're about to do to these guys. And here, this is where we get, you know, Strange is fucking creating the spell. They each have to drop some of their blood in there. Should Thor drink too? And it's Strange. He's such an asshole. Well, if he wants to avoid another thrashing, yes, most definitely. Let me know when you're done. I mean, he's just like such an asshole too. Oh, dude, this throne. This is what he fucking saved them for, so he could make a throne out of their fucking, because they were tall. I mean, so crazy.
Oh yeah, here's the line on that page is like the ball of maggots in his breast beat faster. Mm-hmm. Whatever it was would be upon him. I also love how Ennis like loves New York so much. Like he always finds a way to make it like a beautiful city. I think he loves like the melting pot that it is of culture. Like
it is really, dude. It truly is a melting pot of culture. Like getting to go there for the first time, you know, this past year, like it's insane. It's just such a crazy city. This fucking zombie Viking comes in and Strange is like, I think that means back for more. And then they just tear into him, dude. Hell yeah,
bro. Now this is when everything starts getting badass. You got the fucking plane fighting the fucking ship in the air. You got Thor like powered up, kicking ass.
I love the lettering on this. Yankelson. I love that, dude. And they have to cover their ears because of how loud he yells.
I didn't catch that. That's a good catch, man.
I love this, dude. Final battle about to take place.
I love this page too, clearly making fun of George W. Bush. Message from Admiral Kirby.
So funny,
I like that.
Dude.
I like he's like a nuclear strike would destroy the hostile forces occupying the city, but the admiral is concerned that the fallout would quickly reach us here. Washington is less than 200 miles from New York. Why wasn't I told?
He's such an idiot, dude. Oh my God, that is really.
I don't think he doesn't show you, but we don't need to see who it is because we all know who the fuck it is.
We all know who was the president back then. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, how about this detail with the arm cut off right here, and you can see the bone and the marrow.
I was about to say that too because I have a digital copy and I zoomed in and said you can see the fucking marrow in the bones.
Fucking crazy, dude.
I love the title "See You in Valhalla" too.
Yeah, the hammer raging down. I love Sigrid, like the fucking crazy look in her eyes as she's fighting because she's finally like getting what she's wanted, which is to fight in battle, man. the fucking mace, fucking, oh my god, just so many great pages in here. And he's trying to like burn the fucking, Eric, his name's Eric, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Eric's trying to burn this fucking flying ship down, and it just won't happen. And I love this. They're about to shoot the arrow through, but the glass saves him. He's gonna end up doing something, which I love how he eventually takes the ship down. Sorry, ma'am. I beg your pardon. To the Statue of Liberty. Oh, dude, how about this? The sword straight through Thor's fucking back.
Yeah, coming out the front.
But he's protected by the fucking spell, which is why it doesn't kill him. And he just goes to town, dude.
Yeah, dude, he fucks him up with a hammer, like with one hit.
And finally, Thor doesn't look as skinny. Now he looks like more imposing.
Subtle little things that Fabry is doing to like sell them images, you know?
Mm-hmm. Oh my god, dude, how they jump onto his fucking thing and they just like in the propeller get taken out.
I love that he's just pulls out his gun and starts shooting at them. Like he's a badass himself, dude.
Hell
He's fucking
yeah, dude.
fighting on the outside of the plane, you know?
Get off, for Christ's sake. Ah, the hell with it. You want her? You've got her. And he fucking sends the plane straight into the fucking boat, dude. Oh my god, dude, this where Yakelson's fucking biting Thor's flesh off the skin.
Yeah. You can see his brain up there in that image.
God or no, the living tire, the living fall. It is the dead that lasts forever. I love this fucking writing, dude. It's fucking, what a fun book, man. I love this. Why would he need our help? He is Thor. What are you when all is said and done? Some wretch begot in buggery. No more. And Thor goes for the final blow, dude. Sends him all the way up into space.
I love the Thum, and he just fucking punched him in the outer space, dude.
Everybody coming out like holy shit. Like the smoke's cleared, everything's gone now, but the city's fucking in ruins. I love this. We get, all the respect they have for each other. Magnus bowing to Thor. If you ever need me, you have my sword. Sigrid still be riding that dump of a village if it hadn't been for you. You ever have any other crews of arseholes you want hacking into dog meat? You be sure and let me know.
I love this at the end, though. He's like, good luck to all of you. I imagine this is the last time any of us will clap eyes on each other. And Thor's like, nay, for thou art warriors, and I will see thee in Valhalla.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a great fucking line, dude. Then we see where they end up, how they meet their end.
And they die in battle, like as warriors would. And then there's that shot of them in Valhalla at the end,
It's all awesome.
With their fucking horns filled with mead,
Mm-hmm.
And where's Harold? Fucking floating in space.
Awesome, dude. What a great book.
I'm so glad you brought this up, man, because like this is one of those titles that's disappeared, into like dollar bins and it doesn't get talked about enough, and like it's gonna have its haters because it's Ennis, man. You either love him or you hate him. There's probably no middle ground, especially with this kind of Ennis book. But I'm a huge fan, man, and I like this series. Like you said, it's a ton of fun. It's something different. Marvel doesn't do this kind of shit anymore, and I'm glad you brought it up because this was a lot of fun to read and a lot of fun to talk about. Hell
yeah, dude! I mean, the minute I saw this Ennis Fabry, I was like, oh, dude, I gotta hit Manny up, see if he wants to do this with me. Because like I had thought about, maybe like, maybe just doing a quick one by myself, but always more fun talking, with someone else, especially talking with you, especially Garth Ennis stuff, dude. It's a blast.
He's my favorite writer in comics, man.
Yeah. So if you guys haven't checked this out, I highly recommend it. However you can find it, read it. It's a blast. So much fun. Great writing, great art. And, make sure you like, follow, subscribe, hit that bell icon so you're notified every time a new vid drops. And on that note, we're out.